Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. You are watching The Inside Scoop. I am your host, Steve Scanlon. Sitting next to me is my co-host, Bubba. Welcome, Bubba.
Doing, Steve?
I'm doing fine. And on the table here is Emma Lily. She will join us once again. And sitting on the stage to you viewers far right, to my far left, is Joe. Welcome, Joe.
Hello.
As you are watching another episode of The Inside Scoop. Now, we're already in February. You believe that already?
Tomorrow's Groundhog Day.
Did you guys see your shadows tomorrow? What?
You won't be sleeping until 4 o'clock.
You know what? Doesn't mean if he sees his shadow, does that mean
6
there's
more weeks of winter?
6 weeks?
Either way, it's 6 more weeks.
So winter, it doesn't matter. I feel like shooting that thing. Fricassee. I have a nice recipe for groundhog.
I wonder how it tastes.
I'll find out.
They put that in stew or they?
Yes, all groundhogs do. I asked, well, maybe we should. Is Max Bear? I think is still alive, isn't he?
Yes, he is.
Yeah. Well, maybe he has maybe he has a recipe left by.
He's the only one left of his series.
Right, exactly. We've been talking about that on the way in, all the deaths we had this past week.
No, talking about debts, Joey, I heard you have a whole list of debts.
I'm going to skip one.
Okay.
One we're not sure of.
First is, this is one I shocked him with on the phone a couple days ago. Former Boston Celtics coach Chris Ford.
Oh, yeah.
I was Chris Ford's bodyguard once back, folks, in the 90s. Chris Ford, Robert Parrish, and Reggie Lewis to the 3-on-3 competitions at Cambridge Side Galleria. Very, very nice man. I was shocked when I heard that.
Did he play during the Larry Bird era?
Yes, he did.
He did? Okay.
Now, trivia question. Who was the first person to hit a three-pointer in NBA history?
Larry Bird. No. Walt Chamberlain?
Who was the first person to hit a four-pointer in NBA history because he got the three-pointer and fouled? Chris Ford both times.
Oh, I never knew that.
A little bit of a history, yes. I'm sure our director knew that. He's in there jumping around. I know you knew it. These two wouldn't know it.
Most people in my time.
I don't know anything about basketball history anyway.
You look like because you played hockey.
I never played hockey.
What happened? You get in the head with a puck a lot.
Well, hockey,
Basketball
ain't that where retired football players go?
To hockey?
Yes. It's a joke.
Bro.
That's a joke?
Yes.
Keep reading the list, because if we ignore him, he'll go away.
Crosby, Stills, and Nash singer David Crosby.
I can't believe that. Crosby, Stills, Nash and Young ain't Crosby, Stills, Nash and Young anymore. Another icon, another music icon. We lose music icons once a week, yeah.
You guys probably don't know this, but I know this. He was a young actor back in the 70s, like teenage years. Actor Lance Kerwin. He appeared in, one thing he appeared in was an episode of Wonder Woman 2 series where Roy Rogers played his father in that episode.
Roy Rogers, wasn't he a musician?
Yep.
Yeah.
He was a cowboy star.
Yeah. Never met a man he never liked. He didn't like until he met Joe. Anyway. That's a joke. That was my director.
Last show I announced a former child star passed away. We lost another one this past week.
Unbelievable. I read that.
The original Wednesday Addams from the original Addams Family series, Lisa Loring.
Yes.
Hey, today's Wednesday.
Was she 75?
64.
64?
Yeah.
I know she wasn't healthy. I read that on the internet. Bio on her.
I saw something that she had a massive stroke recently, and then she was put on ventilator. Mm-hmm. And the family took her off of it. Laverne and Shirley star Cindy Williams.
Now they're both gone.
Wasn't she on Happy Days?
Yeah, she started on that show.
They started Happy Days. They both did.
Okay.
They were friends with Fonzie, and Fonzie went with Laverne, and Shirley went with Richie.
Yeah.
And then they got their own spin-off. Now, I have met the man who played on that show as
Henry Winkler?
No, I've met Henry Winkler.
Okay.
And I've met, from Laverne and Shirley, I've met Siggy.
Oh, yeah. His buddy is the only one left.
Yeah, Dave McKeon's gone. I know we mentioned
No,
Eddie
McKeon's
Mecca.
still alive.
McKeon's still
Michael
alive?
McKeon's still alive.
Because I think,
Squiggy died.
Yeah, Squiggy
but Michael's
died.
still alive.
yeah, Squiggy
Lenny's
died.
still alive.
I met Squiggy at the Big E years ago.
And
And I met him in Boston. They did some kind of an event there where he was doing something. I met him there. Oh, he was at a play I was at. He did Grease in Boston then it wasn't the Bark Center, it was the Lang Center then when I was in there. But he did Grease with one of my ex-girlfriends, and I spoke to him there. He also did. He worked with Fort Penny Marshall when A League of Their Own as the announcer. Remember? A little side history for those who know and don't care.
Laverne directed the movie.
Yes, she did. That's what I said. She worked for him.
She also directed Big. Also.
Who?
Big with the movie Big with Tom Hanks.
Yeah, I saw it. Yeah.
She directed that one too.
Yeah.
And last I found this one out some hours after I got off the phone with you. NHL legend Bobby Hall.
Yes. 40-year history. Detroit Red Wing. I personally think one of the top 20 greatest hockey players of all time. Bobby Hall. Top 20. I mean, it's kind of hard to narrow it down to that, but top 20. There's too many there's some great players. Bobby Orr, Gretzky, Wayne, Mike Bossy, Sid the Kid. We can keep going and going. Ken Dryden, Ray Bork, Phil Esposito, local guys. Alex Ovechkin, who's still playing, I think he's in the top 5 greatest hockey players ever.
Now these are
Cam Neely.
football players on ice skates, right?
Yes, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, Bubba Smith played hockey after he left football. Yeah.
I thought he was acting.
Yeah.
I remember seeing him on Married with Children.
Humor him, yes.
That was a great
yes.
show.
He was on there with children.
I got a
couple
movie series
episodes.
with Bubba Smith in it.
Yes.
Really? What
Police
movie
Academy.
series?
Police Academy.
Yes.
movies.
That's right.
He was in
You're
the
right.
Sergeant Hightower.
Yep.
That's what was his last character. He became a sergeant.
Actually, he got a promotion in number 5. His character got a promotion to lieutenant.
Oh, he was lieutenant. Okay, it shows how much I watched. Police Academy goes to, was it Moscow or something? That was
the last one, number 7.
that was horrible. Enough Moody Creek stuff. Keep going, Joe. Is that the end of our
That's
list?
it. Yeah.
Did you check it twice?
What am I, Santa Claus?
Yes. Yeah, you look like one of the elves. You smell like one of the elves.
WWE's
too.
coming back to Providence again
Yes.
on March 13th.
But, I mean, you mentioned some of those people real quick. We know. Rest in peace, Lisa Loring. We grew up with Lisa Loring and Cindy Williams. Who didn't watch Laverne and Shirley? Who didn't watch The Addams Family? I watched it. I enjoyed the show. But the one that's going to hurt me the most of all of them is Chris Ford, because I actually worked directly with Chris Ford. Rest in peace, Chris Ford.
I found out about him
Great coach,
in the
great player.
newspaper.
I saw about it on the internet. I read the internet every morning, every day. No, and he wasn't a football player either. He was a basketball player, Steve.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. It's a guy gets hit in the head with a
But I
puck.
thought he was a Celtics coach.
Yes, he was.
Yes.
Great one.
No, you always say that.
Yes, he did, but he doesn't hear you. He can't hear you out of one part of his...
You say
Yo.
something?
He can't hear well out of one ear. You know that, right?
No.
He can't hear well out of one of his ears, all right? And when you're eating chicken wings and you're putting the bones into your ears...
Oh, here we go. See what you started?
No, I know I started. He texted me last night. Remind me, we're doing a taping last night. What did I say in the text to you last night?
You put down the chicken
Finish up
don't eat the bones.
finish up the rest of that bucket and don't eat the bones. Just like with ribs. He's the only guy who goes to a restaurant and eats the rib bones. Doesn't even leave them. Says, I paid for them, I'm eating them. Guy's an animal.
Where's Hawk?
He's in heaven.
Oh, what a rush.
He's in heaven with the animal.
Yes, they're both up there.
You know,
Wonder if they
Legion of Doom are considered one of the best tag teams.
I think Legion of Doom is the greatest tag team of all time. I'll say that until the Usos are right in the top 5. I said it before, and I'll say it again. Much as you may not like the guys.
Well, when we talk about WWE soon,
Who?
we could talk about
You mean the ex-football players? They're WWE.
the Usos having issues right now, Bloodline, especially what happened
With Sami
at
Zayn and
Royal
Jay.
Rumble.
Well, Jay was one that didn't like Sami Zayn, and he didn't like the fact that Sami Zayn got pulverized by the Bloodline.
To my
About time he
surprise, Sami Zayn nailed Roman Reigns.
Because he
with the
finally
chair.
stood up to him.
Yep.
About time. That sets up for the match at WrestleMania. I believe it's going to happen. I believe it's going to end up being Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn against the Usos. That's where the Usos lose their title. But coming up the Elimination Chamber, I've read on the line today, it might be Sami Zayn against Roman Reigns. Roman's going to kill him. Because if he doesn't kill him, Solo Sikoa will kill him, will spike him out. Speaking of that, do you have any listings for our next pay-per-view?
Yeah, I do. Just part of the Elimination Chamber matches themselves.
Well, go right ahead, Steve. I'm sure
just gonna be skipping
Steve's
over
thinking
it.
about
You gotta
food
skip
over
over
here. He's wondering
another
what he's gonna have for dinner tonight. So,
I guess we'll postpone this other section.
whichever stuff. Oh,
We haven't even done our.
how about birthdays?
We haven't even done
Joe,
that.
come on, get with the program.
Well,
You're gonna run the show someday, right?
what? I'm gonna what?
You're gonna be running the show someday.
Yeah.
No, she's gonna run the show. She is. No, see, no, she's not gonna. See, she's never gonna run the show. Per Emilia. Sit there, yeah. Take a
Chicken
bath.
Wings. Bobby Blue chicken wings. Oh, I'm sorry. I was daydreaming.
Jello, steaks, hamburgers.
How
Chicken
much time
tenders.
till the show's over? I'm getting more hungrier.
The time's right
More
there.
hungry is not a word.
yeah.
You can tell you what.
More
How many
hungry.
times were you dropped on your head during that
Quite a
backyard
few.
wrestling stuff you
Quite
did?
a few. Even prior to that.
More hungrier.
You know, I was dropped when I was born.
That explains a lot.
I can't say anything ill about your brothers or your mom.
Yeah, when I was
God
born,
bless both of them.
right away I started eating and I lost my balance and fell. Head first.
We all fell when we were first born. When we were walking.
Yeah.
I would personally was walking up and trying to get sauce and meatballs from my mother, and fell over. I got the meatballs eventually. I'm trying to lose them now. All you look like one. You smell like a dead meatball over there. I'd be quiet over there. You.
I was so hungry when I was born, I ate my mom's dinner as well. I ate for two. It's supposed to be the mother eats for two, but the son ate for two.
Okay.
Well,
Let's go with
some
the
mothers
birthday.
eat for more than two. We'll start off with Dexter Loomis. His birthday was January 17th. He's 39.
I wonder if he's going to enter the matches for a place in the Elimination Chamber.
I don't know.
Okay.
Next is the OC's Carl Anderson, January 20th. He's 43.
Wow. That old.
That young.
The Miz's wife, Maurice.
Maurice is what? How old is Maurice?
She was born January 21st. Her birthday, she's 40.
Wow.
Oh,
Okay.
she's young too.
And the next one is Sasha Banks, January 26th.
Who?
Sasha Banks.
Who's that?
I don't know what the name she goes by now these days.
Mercedes Monet. Get with the program.
I only know her as Sasha Banks.
Well, she's from
She's
Massachusetts.
31.
Her real name is Mercedes, so
I
we'll
knew that.
call her Mercedes. So why would you always? How did you just say how you only know her as Sasha then?
She's
No.
in the WWE.
I hope when you're sleeping together that you whack him in the head. Keep going.
That was the last birthday I've got. Was hers.
There's other ones that have been mentioned. I know Elias just had a birthday recently. I saw this on the internet. Actually, it was mentioned. Yesterday, I was watching NXT, and it was somebody's birthday on NXT. And it might have been Indy Hartwell, or maybe she was mentioning about Dexter Loomis. It might have been Indy Hartwell. It was a female who had a birthday yesterday. I'll
We're gonna
look
get
that
to
up.
the results.
Result of what?
The Royal Rumble.
What Rumble? Oh,
The Rumble in the Bronx.
All right, we'll go over them. We'll see how our picks
As a
did.
matter of fact, Wednesday passed away the day of the Rumble.
Wednesday.
Yeah,
Today's Wednesday.
that was Saturday.
Lisa Loring, who played Wednesday.
Oh, the character.
She passed away the day of the Rumble.
Oh.
Well, her pick
okay. I
didn't
thought
win.
you were saying the Rumble was Wednesday.
First.
Have you ever watched the Keystone Cops, director? This is what we sound like tonight. Hope you guys were entertained. I'm not entertained. I watched Gladiator yesterday again for the 15th time.
The Pitch Black match, Bray Wyatt against LA Knight, and Bray Wyatt won.
That was a creepy ending. That's all I can tell you. I'm not quite sure what that was, but I'm still trying to figure out what that was. So are the announcers. That green slime that was radioactive coming out, and Uncle Woody jumping off and dying or something. I don't know. He jumped through LA Knight, and you never saw him again.
You saw the
I don't know.
fire come up there.
I don't know. Maybe it's gas. I have what idea? I have no idea.
This is
That was creepy.
the WWE titles. Roman Reigns against Kevin Owens. Roman won.
Roman destroyed him at the end of the match, and the Bloodline destroyed Kevin Owens. I mean, beat him into oblivion. We'll talk more about that after we mentioned it earlier. Keep going.
The Women's Royal Rumble winner was Rhea Ripley.
Who was my sleeper pick, by the way? I picked Raquel Gonzalez. She's actually going to be in the Elimination Chamber. Okay? She was my sleeper pick, if you remember. I did say Rhea Ripley. I think, Steve, you picked Rhea. Did you not?
No, I didn't pick one for that runner for that.
I think you may have mentioned Liv Morgan.
Yeah. At least that was close.
See, I was close too. Raquel Gonzalez was the last force. The return of
Yeah, mine
Asuka.
was probably the last two.
I mean, Michelle McCool coming out of the audience, putting the kids down was pretty cool, I think. I thought that was real cool.
Rhea chose who she wants to go with.
Charlotte, good. That could be a classic match if they let it go.
And the Men's Rumble was the returning Cody Rhodes.
Who I said and you said. Braun Strowman didn't really do much in that whole match.
Same thing with Brock Lesnar.
Brock got tossed out by Bobby Lashley, didn't he? That's a feud that they're going to keep going after Lashley wins the title back.
Surprise! Gunther
Gunther totally impressed me.
impressed me as well. Him being number one.
100 an hour and 7 minutes.
Yes.
He broke Rey Mysterio's record. Gunther was, I mean, he was tough.
Mm-hmm.
That was a great showing. I said, I'm glad they're pushing this guy.
Mm-hmm.
Love him or hate him. The kid can wrestle. The kid can work with anybody. He makes everyone else look good around him. He was chopping everybody to
Rhea
pieces.
Ripley surprised me as well, being number one and winning it.
Rhea may have a broken rib right now. It's written online. When she got spared last night by inadvertently by
Beth Phoenix.
Beth Phoenix, she might have a broken rib. She may be out for a couple of weeks, or she won't be wrestling.
She got hit by Beth Phoenix
Pretty
Monday
hard,
night.
too.
Monday night too.
You don't piss off. People don't remember Beth Phoenix is a tough, strong girl. The glamour's on. You don't upset her. Keep
And
going.
lastly, the Raw Women's title, Bianca Belair against Alexa Bliss, and Bianca won.
That was a good match too. The match of the night, again, I keep saying this, and if Saudi Arabia buys the WWE, they might start doing away with the women's division. I think the Women's Royal Rumble match was the best match of the night, again. I mean, the last match with Kevin Owens and Roman Reigns was great, but I think the Women's Royal Rumble match was unbelievable, off the chart. Those girls were beating. The return of somebody. You didn't mention that. Did you mention that?
No.
Nia Jax. You didn't see Nia Jax come in the ring?
Oh yeah, she was number 30.
And she didn't tell me anything
There was
about
several other returns in those two Rumbles.
Well, but she was the biggest one. Nia Jax is back, re-signed with the company. It must have took him a few bucks because she didn't want to come back.
And a commentator returned too. Pat McAfee returned.
Yes.
Same thing
That is-
with Undertaker's wife, McCool.
You know, I told you, I said that earlier, Michelle McCool came out of the audience, but you know, I don't know what you have. Stuffing or something left in there from Thanksgiving? What's in your area?
Stuffing. To go with the chicken
No, he's going to have a turkey Thanksgiving sandwich.
dressing. Oh, that sounds good for tonight.
It's good. I'm going to beat him with a turkey leg. Anyway,
Turkey leg.
let's go into a,
Elimination Chamber.
yes, quick,
The
because I want
first
to talk about the
Elimination
eventual.
Chamber match is for the U.S. title.
Yes.
Theory's defending against 3 out of 5 for now. We don't know who the other 2 are going to be yet. One of his opponents is Seth Rollins.
Oh.
And another one is Johnny Gargano.
Yes, Mr. Wrestling himself.
Another one is this newer guy, Bronson Reed.
Bronson Reed's a tough, strong. He reminds me of a little AC baby who used to wrestle around here. But Bronson Reed's a tough guy while he's back.
And we got the women's elimination chamber. I guess is for a shot at the Raw women's title.
Yes.
At WrestleMania.
Gets Bianca, if she's still champion.
And we got Nikki Cross, Liv Morgan,
Crazy Nikki,
Oscar, and Raquel Rodriguez.
The returning Oscar changed her facial appearance a little bit, but
and she got a haircut too.
She got them all cut.
That's all I got.
Okay, Roman Reigns situation with Bloodline. We were going to talk a little bit about that.
Bad, Steve.
Now, for those of you who watched the Royal Rumble, you got to know what we're referring to. We're referring to the match between Kevin Owens against Roman Reigns. Roman Reigns won that match, and afterwards they end up attacking Kevin Owens. They handcuffed him to the top rope, and Roman Reigns was then to use the steel chair on Kevin Owens when Sami Zayn stepped in the way and said, "No, he's done enough.
This is beneath you."
You're right. So Roman Reigns then handed the steel chair to Sami Zayn and told him, "Go ahead, you hit him with the chair." And he didn't want to.
Well, he was getting slapped around a little bit too by Roman Reigns. You don't slap a grown man.
So
what do I know?
Sami Zayn ended up giving a chair shot to Roman Reigns, knocked him down to the mat. And that led to Sami Zayn being attacked by Jimmy Uso?
Jimmy Uso and Solo Sikoa.
Yeah.
And Roman.
And the one guy who did not do any attacking is Jey Uso, who then left the ring in disgust.
And Jay was the one who didn't trust Sami. Now he's the one who's fighting for Sami. Interesting twist.
Now we got Elimination Chamber pay-per-view coming up this month in Canada. And I told Joey what I think was going to happen. I think there was going to be an elimination match between Sami Zayn teaming up with Kevin Owens and Jey Uso against Jimmy Uso, Roman Reigns, and Solo in a 3-on-3.
I don't think Jay will go against his family.
You don't think so?
Not right now.
Okay.
I think it's going to end up waiting until WrestleMania, and it's going to be Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn against the Usos, and Jay's going to lay down for Sami. He's going to let Sami pin him, just to upset Roman. That's my opinion.
That's a good prediction. Yeah. You have any thoughts towards that, Joe?
No, Joe doesn't have any thoughts.
Okay.
While we're going into thoughts, me and Steve and our old host here, Emily, and his other awesome niece, Natalie, went to a independent show a couple weeks ago on a Saturday over in Brockton. Good show. Put up by top rope. Ryan Drew. I mean, we got to see Love Doug wrestle. More about Love Doug in the future weeks. We got to see great wrestling card. I thought it was very good. A little bite deep beforehand. But great wrestling card. It was a very good show, I think. It was definitely worth for $20 we paid to go in. Very good wrestling out the whole night. It wasn't off the charts, but it wasn't boring either. It was good. It was good wrestling. I enjoyed it. My boy did not wrestle that show. Since then, I went the following night. I went to Providence and saw. Teddy Good was at that show. So was Little Mean Kathleen. They also wrestled the next night, and Brenda was not at that show either. But great independent show there. Eva Everett against Becca. They're both leaving the area. I wish them both well. Two female wrestlers. One's going to Germany, I believe, and one's going down south. Becca's moving down south, and Eva Everett's going to Germany. She's going to be wrestling in Germany for a while. I wish them both well. Brian Rising Goslin had a match against Stephen Lust, which was a great match. excellent wrestling match. I said hi to Ryan's mom, who was in the audience again watching her son wrestle. She often does. Excellent wrestling card. That was only, I believe that was $10 to go on, 15. For $10, $15, $20, I mean, I mentioned it March 26th. It's been hyped. It's really getting hyped on Facebook. And WWE is bringing in Hacksaw Jim Duggan to Natick. I know Natick's a hike, folks, but I've never seen Hacksaw. I want to meet him. I can't wait to meet him. I'm actually excited to meet him. And WWE, little heads up, is coming to Central Falls. Yes, close. Central Falls. It'll be coming in June. I believe it's June the 17th. As the date, either 16th or 17th. I'll have more information on that as we go along here in the months. That's a little heads up. I don't know anything about those matches. AWF has been wrestling, Atlantic Wrestling. I was also at the matches. I went down to Fairhaven to see Davey Cash's show. Another great wrestling card. Great wrestling show. $10. You can't beat $10 for 3 hours of action for 9 matches. Great time. Place you can get a bite to eat. A full bar there. I mentioned that because it keeps Steve happy if we go there. You can get a nice bite to eat, something to eat. Same as in Brockton, they really don't have food there. And NCW, they're all starting up again. They'll be starting up again later on this month. Going back to Dedham. I know they bring their own food in. They bring in pizza and what have you. I haven't read anything about an LPW show. I can go on and on and on about independent wrestling. I have for the 4 years I've been on this show. For $25 or less, go out and see a wrestling show. Action's up close to you. Wrestlers all start something. We gotta drag Joey to one of these shows. We're gonna drag him down to one of these shows.
No, I'm not going to drag. What?
Maybe we'll get you to bathe before we take you. And I promise I'll leave you there. I'll be telling your family that. I'm going to take you out of Fave and leave you there. Out to Hudson or something for LPW show and leave you there. Or Brockton and leave you there. You'll find your way home from Brockton, though.
He used to live in Brockton, matter of fact.
Oh, yeah, see, he'll find his way home, yeah. Now, Steve allows us to do his show. Joe had his lists here.
All right, well, that was a good previews for the independent shows coming up, and I'm glad that we have that segment. Just
IndependentWrestling.com.
Adding that segment been a good addition to the show because there's a lot of wrestling viewers out there and watching us, and they're not aware of a lot of these upcoming independent shows that you mentioned. So that's a big plus that was added to the show when you came along. All right, well, we thank you for watching us, and we'll be back in a couple of weeks. As a matter of fact, I have a big announcement on the next talk show. And next talk show, I'll make that announcement. But until next time, folks, have yourselves a great 2 weeks.
Rest in peace, Chris Ford.
Thank you, guys, and thank you, viewers,
I love you, buddy.
Director, for directing us. Until next time, have a good one.